Hey, Christopher McClure here from So You Want to Play Guitar. So I have two questions for you. Would you like to learn the chord progression that's most suited to guitar? And then second question, would you like to learn that in just a few minutes? Well, that's what I'm going to be doing on this video today. So stick around if you're interested in that. The chord progression I'm talking about is E Diatonic. So the reason the E diatonic chord progression is most suited to guitar is because guitar is it really lends itself to chord progressions in a key of E. And we've already done, if you look on some other videos that I've done, both on YouTube and Facebook, and those channels are So You Want to Play Guitar on Facebook and on YouTube. The diatonic chord progression is the one that really mimics the major scale, or the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It just does it in chords. So if we do that in the key of E, we have our E chord. You might usually play it like this. Well, I'm going to show it to you like this because in terms of playing the progression, it's easier to get the formations this way. So we start off with the E like that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move that up 2 frets, right? But the second chord in a diatonic chord progression is a minor chord, so we have to take this note and we have to flat it and make it a minor. Right? So that it becomes like an F sharp minor inside of these droning, the low E and the high E and the B too. Right? Here's the high E, the B, and then the low E. They're droning. That's an F sharp chord, F sharp minor chord inside. Now if we just move that up 2 frets, then we have a G sharp minor chord inside of those droning strings. And that would be the 3 chord. Okay? And then the 4 chord in a diatonic chord progression is a major chord, and in the case of E, it's an A chord. So we have to go back to a major. Formations are just like the one we were doing down there. We're just doing it up here. So far we only have 2 different formations. We have the major formation, then we have the minor twice, and then we have the major again. Now we're going to just move that major 2 more frets up. That's going to be the 5 chord, or B major. Once again, it's still with the droning high E and the second string, the B, and the low E. Now if we bring that up 2 more frets, right? We bring that up 2 more frets and make that a minor formation. That's a C sharp minor, which would be the 6th minor in a diatonic chord progression. And then we get to the last chord, which is that 7th chord, typically in a diatonic chord progression, it's a diminished 7th chord. It's also the substitution that can be made for it is a 5/7 or a B7. But the formation that I'm using there, basically, if I take that minor one and I just move that up 2, right? And then if I just take this 3rd finger right here and I move that down 1 fret, that's my diminished 7th formation, or you could consider it a 5/7 formation. And then I go up 1 more fret and I play that major formation up here. Right? So in a linear approach, we have that. So now if we wanted to do a different approach, and I've shown this on some other videos, the second approach that I usually do is what I call skip scale or a skip progression, right? So what we're going to do is to do 1, go to 2, go back to 1, go to 3, go back to 1, go to 4, go back to 1, 5, back to 1, 6, back to 1, 7, back to 1, and then, right? So if you're playing that, if you pick some kind of strum on your guitar, you know, you go like, okay. Well, another approach, these different approaches, they're just different ways of practicing the same progression so that you can become familiar with it from different angles, right? So what you can do is what I call a grouping approach, right? And that means that I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, then I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, then I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, and so on. In other words, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go to 2, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go to 3 and go 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go to 4 and go 4, 5, 6. And now I'm going to go to 7 and go to the 5 chord and go 5, 6, 7. And then on the 6th chord and go 6, 7, 1. And so if you do this, you know, you pick a rhythm and you do this, you know, it's like. And already that's sounding a lot, you know, like music and something you might even want to take and, you know, use in some song that you would want to write, you know. Okay, so we've got the E Diatonic chord progression, and we've got the linear approach, we've got the skip scale or skip chord approach, we've got the grouping approach. Now I just wanted to show you a little bit about that, like, so say you get comfortable with that chord progression, and now you want to actually before I show you embellishment, I want to just show you how this chord progression was used in a fairly famous song by the Allman Brothers called Melissa, and it's not exact, but it's pretty much an E diatonic chord progression. Crossroads seem to come and go, yeah. Gypsy flies from coast to coast, right? And then it goes, then it changes, it goes. Now here it's a little different, right? Instead of going, it goes to a minor. Right? But so far everything's the same as an E diatonic chord progression. Knowing many loving hearts. Right? Not remembering all the words there. And then you go to a different chord right here. You go to went back home to always run to sweet Melissa. Yeah. So anyway, that's just, you know, if you want to check that song out, you'll see that that is this pretty much an E diatonic chord progression. And if you would like to learn that song, you know, put in the comments. You know, say, hey, yeah, I'd like to see a video teaching Melissa by the Allman Brothers, and I'd be happy to do that. And I'll spend the video doing that. Okay, so now I wanted to just do a little bit with embellishment. So what I mean by that is that, all right, so you got your chords now, and say you're comfortable with the chords and stuff, and you want to do a little more, okay? So if you went to the second chord and you played it like this, right, and you left this finger free, this pinky free, right, there's a little bit of stretch here with it, but then you could go, you've got these notes that you could play melody on, so you get, so you go and, right, so all of a sudden you're not just accompanying a voice with chords, but you're actually solo guitar because you're playing harmony and you're playing melody. So if you look, you can, right? You've got a, with these two strings, right? You've got melody, right? In these different positions, you've got an E major scale. And so when you go to those chords, you can play it, you can be playing. Like I said, you're going to have to use this instead of this. This is easier to play, but this enables you to free up your pinky. So you get to, and what I like to do is like, so you're kind of moving around a progression. You land someplace, you go like, and you kind of create a plateau, you stay on that different chord for a while. Right, and then when you get to the 7 chord, and then when you get back up to the tonic, you can go back to your original formation like this, and you've got. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I wanted to show you today. So that's the E diatonic chord progression. It's the diatonic chord progression that's, in a way, it's most suited to the guitar because of the way the guitar is tuned. And I showed you how to do that in 3 different approaches: the linear approach, the skip chord approach, and the grouping approach. And I showed you how this the song by the Allman Brothers, Melissa, is almost, it's like a study in the E diatonic chord progression. And if you would like me to do a video on how to play that song, just put it in the comments, and if I get enough interest, I will do that. And then I showed you embellishment, and this is like a whole new idea. I haven't really touched into this before. That once you learn a chord progression, whether it's the E diatonic or it's just a C, there's always ways to pick out melody within a chord. And I'll be doing more of that in the future. So once again, I'm Christopher McCore, and soyouwanttoPlayGuitar.com is my website, and I hope this was valuable for you.